Now at 8 o'clock on WKYT this morning, we're just days away from Kentucky's primary election, and both Democratic presidential candidates are campaigning here in the Commonwealth. Well, they'll be stopping just ahead. National Police Week ends in Washington, D.C. this morning with a special ceremony. Sean Moody is live looking ahead to today's events honoring fallen officers. And a Central Kentucky archery club has their sights set on the world competition. Find out how they fared at nationals ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Thanks so much for tuning in on this beautiful Sunday morning. Meredith Jones has the morning off, and Sean Moody is going to be joining us live from Washington, D.C. Mike Linden is here with a look at today's weather. It may be May 15th, but it's feeling a lot like fall, right, Mike?
That's right, Michelle. It does not feel at all like a day in which is about a month away from the start of summer, feeling more like the fall this morning as temperatures have done just that. They have really fallen off. The mid to low 40s and upper 30s out there this morning. We were talking about early patchy frost for southern Kentucky, although with the sunshine now, we are beginning to see those temperatures improving slowly but surely. 45 in Lexington, 39 though in Pulaski County. The lack of cloud cover was a bit concerning, but luckily, those clouds did hang with us through most of the early morning hours, and that kept things in central Kentucky from really dropping off. But here you can see those winds coming in from the west and northwest, and they are really coming in strong this morning. Enough so that they don't look to be going much of anywhere as we head into the upcoming work week. So coming up in about 10 minutes, I'll show you whether or not this cool air will take hold of us early tomorrow morning and what that means for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Mike. Today is the final day of National Police Week. It's been a journey for many family members and friends of 6 fallen Kentucky officers who have been recognized this weekend. There's still more planned for today to honor those fallen officers. WKYT's Sean Moody joins us live from Washington, D.C. this morning to look ahead to today's events. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Michelle. Organizers say there have been between 20 and 30,000 people here in Washington, D.C. for National Police Week. This is the culmination of this week. This is the memorial service on Sunday morning. It starts at 11 o'clock here on the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol building. And during this event, fallen Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis's cousin Hannah will sing a song she wrote about him. Officers and families from all 50 states and from around the world are here spending time with each other and honoring 252 fallen officers whose names went on the National Law Enforcement Memorial this year. 6 of them are from Kentucky. There's Officer Daniel Ellis, Lieutenant Clifford Travis, Officer Burke Rhodes, and Troopers Randy Chrisman, Cameron Ponder, and Blake Tribby. Now on Friday night there was a candlelight vigil at the National Mall. Thousands of people were out here and listened as each of these officers' names were read. Families of the fallen officers say this really makes them understand just how big a family this really is.
It was amazing to see all the people. I didn't honestly know there was going to be as many people as there were. I got up in my chair and looked back and seen just thousands of candlelight.
Now again, this event will get going around 11 o'clock and should last a couple of hours. We'll have full coverage of it beginning at 6 o'clock on WKYT. Live in Washington, D.C., Sean Moody, WKYT.
The campaign trail is making its way back to Kentucky. It's been a busy weekend for Democratic presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, and they're both in the Commonwealth today. WKYT's Mike Byer is at our live desk this morning, breaking down their planned campaign stops. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Michelle. We're just days away from Kentucky's primary. Both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are here for another round of campaign stops before voters head to the polls on Tuesday. Now, Sanders plans on making a stop in Paducah today, continuing his trail through western Kentucky. He held a rally last night in Bowling Green at the historic rail park and train yard. Sanders told voters he believes that 13 million jobs that can be created in the area by rebuilding the crumbling American infrastructure. He also talked about raising the minimum wage, free college, and criminal justice reform. Sanders also called out Governor Matt Bevin for cutting funding to health care and education.
So if you can imagine the kind of Governor Bevin is, think about Bernie Sanders as a president doing exactly the opposite of what Governor Bevin is doing.
Now, Sanders' opponent Hillary Clinton is also returning to the Bluegrass. She'll make her first stop today in Louisville for a Get Out the Vote event at the Union of Carpenters and Millwrights Training Center. Clinton also has an event planned in Covington. Now, tomorrow she'll campaign right here in Lexington, and then she'll head west to Bowling Green. Clinton's campaign says she will be at the Olive M. Beck Center at Transylvania University at 6:45 tomorrow night. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
And Kentucky's primary is Tuesday. A Central Kentucky archery team proved they have good aim by finishing with top honors at a competition in Louisville. The Lincoln County High School archery team was given a police escort into Stanford after winning second place in the IBO 3D National Tournament yesterday. They finished just 1 point behind the first place team, Hopkins County. The team is now preparing for the world competition in June in Myrtle Beach. The coach says the team has made some great strides since their season began in September.
You have to own what you shoot, because you go out there and if you mess up, there's nobody that can pick you up. As far as if you miss, it's your shot. Really stepped up here lately and have put that behind them and went on and shot their points.
Now, if the trophy wasn't enough, each team member also received a $750 college scholarship. The archery team at Whitehall Elementary in Richmond won first place in the nation in their division too. So congratulations to all of them. Now, as the first of its kind here in Kentucky, the Officer Down 5K finally made its way here just in time. The 6 officers being honored in our nation's capital were also honored in Richmond for the race. The Officer Down 5K has made its way to 15 states, making its Kentucky debut yesterday morning. About 300 people participated, supporting police officers the whole way.
To hold these events here, really helps bring morale up and helps us remember our fallen.
Now, all proceeds from the 5K will benefit Kentucky State Police Post 7 and 12 for Trooper Island, which is a program for Kentucky's youth. WKYT this morning is just getting started. Your time is 8:06. State leaders across the country are reacting to President Obama's letter that was sent out on transgender sensitivity. What they have to say still ahead on WKYT this morning. And he may not be busting ghosts, but he is helping others crack a few smiles. How one North Carolina man is putting his ectomobile to good use. That's coming up after Mike's forecast.
A beautiful looking day this morning in the bluegrass, but it does not feel all so nice outside. Coming up, I'll take you through the day and show you how cool those temperatures will be.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
A pretty good look at downtown Lexington this morning on our live sky camera. The skies are blue. It looks great, but it doesn't necessarily feel so great outside this morning. We look at the Defender radar network, and this is just going to emphasize that lack of cloud cover over most of the bluegrass, although this cloud cover right now over eastern Kentucky was not too long ago blanketing most of central Kentucky, and that is what helped our temperatures not fall too far into that mid-30s range overnight last night. Here you can really see that those winds are coming in strong from the west and northwest. That's just going to keep those temperatures running cooler than normal for this time of year, as Arctic air has found a way to intrude the bluegrass and most of the Midwest for that matter. And that is why temperatures this morning are in the mid to low 40s across most of the state. We did see some spots in southern Kentucky, that being Laurel County, Pulaski County, pretty close to the Tennessee line, that overnight did fall into the mid to high 30s range. Most of central Kentucky did see cloud cover hanging around, and that is what kept things from going back into that mid to high 30s range. Nonetheless, a lot cooler outside this morning than where we were yesterday. Most spots down almost 10 to near 20 degrees in some spots of southern Kentucky. So if you needed a jacket yesterday morning, you will most definitely need one again to get your day started today. So if you're heading out to church this morning, or if you're getting any early errands done here on Sunday morning, expect temperatures to stay in the 40s for at least the next hour or two before we begin to warm up. And of course, warm, a relative term, because it's not going to feel all that warm out there today. I mean, borderline mild in the upper 50s and lower 60s for your daytime highs out there today. Sunny and looking pretty good, but it's not going to feel like a late spring day. It's going to feel more like an autumn day out there today. Overnight tonight, if we do indeed stay relatively cloud-free, and it looks like tomorrow could be another morning with some patchy frost being a big concern. Now, what you really need, the sweet spot for frost, is between about 32 and 36 degrees. Look at these numbers. While this is just a computer model, it's certainly something that catches your attention, especially when you see a couple 33s popping up on the map. As we get into Monday afternoon, temperatures do recover a little bit into the mid-60s. Nonetheless, things are going to be running cooler than normal here the next few days. And the most likely days for us to see frost, well, of course, we got past this morning. Tomorrow morning looks likely as well, as this big cold air mass continues to sink into the Midwest. That is going to impact our temperatures almost all week long as well, mind you. Not really getting back to normal until next Friday. Normal this time of year is the mid-70s, and we'll pretty much spend all week long playing catch-up. And speaking of catching back up, well, it looks like the rain could be catching back up to us as well. Heavy rain and the chance for thunderstorms almost each and every day. That's when that warm Gulf of Mexico air tries to make a comeback late tomorrow night.
When are we going to have a week-long stretch of sun and warm weather?
I don't know. You might have to move. Kentucky has been quite unusual
Wacky
this
weather here.
And it just continues on.
So, one North Carolina man, well, he ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Most definitely not. We're not talking about Bill Murray. This is Justin Parker. He fixed up an old 1992 Ford Taurus station wagon and turned it into his own ectomobile. He found parts all over town, from thrift stores to searching around his house. He even took his driver's test in the ectomobile.
Crafty guy.
Yeah, no kidding. He says the car brings plenty of smiles when he drives it around town. Now, all he needs to do now is find a ghost, and I think smiles will be the last thing on people's minds at that point.
Yeah, that's probably true. You know, I was looking up the first Ghostbusters car that was in the first movie.
So, like, in the movie?
In the movie, and the guy who put that car together only paid $4,800 for the original car that he transformed into the ectomobile. Can you believe it? $4,800?
That is pretty cool. And I believe that car was a hearse, not to bring the mood down, but I believe that's what the first car was too.
Possibly. I'll have to look that up. That's interesting.
Maybe something more to look up.
Some type of Cadillac, I do believe. You never know. When WKYT This Morning returns, we'll hear about some of the backlash after President Obama's transgender directive. There have been protests for and against the letter. We'll hear from both sides coming up. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $174 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $60 million.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning on this beautiful Sunday morning. Your time is 8:17. Here's an update on our top stories. President Obama is joining forces with rap artist Macklemore to improve efforts to reach out to those addicted to opioids and those who overdose on the drug often found in prescription painkillers. The National Transportation Safety Board is sending a team to South Texas to investigate the crash of a charter bus. It was headed to a casino yesterday morning when it rolled over on a highway north of Laredo, killing 8 people and injuring 44 others. Russian police say a violent brawl in a Moscow cemetery involving about 200 people in an apparent turf war has left 3 people dead and 23 others hospitalized. Police say 2 of those who died were hit by a car driven by someone trying to flee the scene. The city health department says another person died at the hospital. So moving on this morning, many across the country are weighing in on President Obama's transgender directive. The president sent out the directive on Friday saying that schools must let transgender students use restrooms consistent with their gender identity. DeMarco Morgan has more on the bathroom backlash.
Across the country, there have been protests for and against transgender students being allowed to use restrooms and locker rooms of their choosing. State leaders, including Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, are flat out rejecting the Obama administration's new guidelines.
We will not yield to blackmail from the President of the United States.
Patrick is urging the state's school districts to ignore the policy completely.
Democracy.
Fort Worth, the state's 6th largest school district, says it would enforce the new rules.
Taxpayers and parents should be outraged at this shocking violation and breach of the public trust. Get back to education, repeal the policy.
But the school's superintendent, Kent Scribner, says the policy could prevent bullying.
Unfortunately, not every child comes from a safe and supportive home.
Currently, 8 states plus the District of Columbia have laws regarding gender and bathroom use. California and New Jersey are the only 2 states that allow students to choose a restroom based on their gender identity. North Carolina recently made headlines with a bill that critics say restricts transgender people's rights. Back in Fort Worth, some believe the matter should be handled on a local level. Allison Kelly has 2 children in public school.
This is not a federal decision. This is a state, and this is a local decision.
Now, the directive sent out by both the Justice and Education Department is not law, but the message behind the letter is clear. Follow its guidance on transgender sensitivity or possibly lose federal funding. Your time is 8:20. There's still more to come on WKYT This Morning. Sports is next.
We all know the situation for the basketball Wildcats next year. You lose a group, you bring a new crop in, and John Calipari is pretty excited about the new guys coming in. And also UK baseball, they lose in dramatic fashion yesterday, and now they have painted themselves into a corner as they try to get to the NCAA tournament. I've got the highlights next.
A cold start to our morning early on in the Bluegrass, but will we see improvement into the afternoon? I'll show you coming up.
We know John Calipari will lose guys like Ulis, Murray, Labissiere, Poitras. He replaces them with another outstanding group of freshmen. The backcourt of De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk could be Cal's best since John Wall and Eric Bledsoe. Fox being compared to Wall possibly, Monk also. His size, athletic ability is pretty incredible. Bam Adebayo provides a physical presence inside that's been missing. Wenyan Gabriel, Sasha Kalia Jones, they round out the group. Cal says is going to be fun to watch.
Really fast. Ooh. Do you remember our 12 team when we rebounded and the ball was in the basket? And you went, did someone throw it down there? Like we were that fast. You remember Michael? You remember Duran, how fast we got the ball out? And Darius, we ran. Terrence Jones. This team has that kind of speed. Now they got to get in great shape. I want to be a great team from defense to offense. In other words, when we block it or get that ball, we're flying.
The baseball Wildcats have not been flying. They've had a head-shaking season. They started the year 18-8, 8-4 in the SEC. Since then, 11-15 in the second half of the season, 5-9 in conference play, trying not to make it 5-10. Kyle Cody trying to prevent the sweep by the hands of the Ole Miss Rebels. The fireballer, first inning goes curveballer. UK escapes the frame. Top of the second, Tristan Pompey goes Vesuvius. Get it? Swells up in a hurry. The freshman from Toronto scorches a line drive homer to right. A 2-run shot, 2-0 UK. The Cats pick up 3 more in the third when Javon Shelby continues his power surge, plays bombs away to left. His SEC co-leading 12th homer of the year. We go to the ninth. UK up 5-4. 2 on for Henry Lartigue. And boy, does he put a charge into it. Deep right field, she's gone. A 3-run walk-off homer. Just his 3rd dinger of the season at Ole Miss in their great baby blue jerseys. Sweep UK 7-5. Kentucky travels to Murray State before finishing the regular season next weekend at home against the Missouri Tigers. And in that series, UK is going to have to sweep possibly to make it to the NCAA tournament, the SEC tournament, in a week and a half. That's a look at sports. Enjoy your weekend.
Now at 8:30 on WKYT This Morning, we're just days away from Kentucky's primary election, and both Democratic presidential candidates are campaigning here in the Commonwealth, where they are stopping ahead. National Police Week ends in Washington, D.C. this morning. How many plan to honor fallen officers one more time? We'll have a live report coming up. And in central Kentucky, a sinkhole is still causing problems. Why neighbors and officials in Garrett County are keeping a close eye on the ground. Ahead on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good Sunday morning to you. I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Meredith Jones has the morning off, and Sean Moody will be live from Washington, D.C. here in a couple of minutes. But first, let's head it over to Mike Linden with a look at today's forecast. Mike?
Well, Michelle, it looks great, but that's the thing, though. It looks great, but doesn't necessarily feel like it. Right now, a live Skycam review of downtown Lexington. Blue skies, a picturesque Sunday morning. but the temperatures aren't making things feel all that much better. It's quite cool out there early on in the mid to low 40s. It wasn't too long ago where we saw quite a few spots in southern Kentucky sitting in the upper 30s. Patchy frost was a possibility this morning for those spots. But if we look to the skies with the Defender radar network, we're just not finding any precipitation nor even very much cloud cover. So that does mean that if you do plan on getting your morning started, maybe to go for an early morning run or to go to church or just get your day started, there won't be anything from Mother Nature really getting in the way other than the temperatures. Be sure to grab that jacket. As far as this chilly air though, it's not really going much of anywhere. Coming up, I'll show you what Monday morning looks like and whether or not you'll have to cover up those plants again.
Thank you, Mike. We're tracking some breaking news out of Bourbon County. The Bourbon County coroner has been called to the scene of an accident. It happened about a half an hour ago on Clintonville Road in Paris. No other details have been released at this time. We do have a reporter heading to the scene, and we'll bring you updates as soon as they become available. So just hang out on our website, WKYT.com, to get the latest on that. Today is the final day of National Police Week. It's been a journey for many family members and friends of 6 fallen Kentucky officers who have been recognized this weekend. There's still more planned for today to honor those fallen officers. WKYT Sean Moody joins us now live from Washington, D.C. this morning to look ahead to today's events. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Michelle. Some of the family members who are here told me they didn't realize just how big an event this was going to be. Organizers say between 20 and 30,000 people here have been here in Washington, D.C. for National Police Week. They expect about 4,000 here on the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol this morning for this memorial service. It starts at 11 a.m. There have been events all week long in Washington, D.C. On Friday night, the names of 252 fallen officers were read. 6 of them are from Kentucky. Officer Daniel Ellis, Officer Burke Rhodes, Lieutenant Clifford Travis, and Troopers Eric Chrisman, Blake Tribby, and Cameron Ponder. Thousands of people held up candles as those names were read, and families said they were overwhelmed by all the support.
You look out and there's just a sea of candles lit in honor of all these law enforcement officers, and to see so much support for law enforcement meant a lot, and it's kind of surreal to hear Blake's name, but we were proud. We were proud of it.
There's going to be a special moment during this service coming up for the family of Officer Daniel Ellis during this ceremony. His cousin Hannah is a singer and songwriter, and she wrote a song, a tribute to him, about him that she'll get to sing during that service. We'll show you that later today at 6 o'clock. Live in Washington, D.C., Sean Moody, WKYT.
Thank you, Sean. And that song is beautiful. You can actually buy it on iTunes. The campaign trail is making its way back to Kentucky. It's been a busy weekend for Democratic presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. They're both in the Commonwealth today. WKYT's Mike Byers at our live desk this morning breaking down their planned campaign stops. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Michelle. Kentucky's primary is right around the corner. Both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are here for another round of campaign stops before voters head to the polls on Tuesday. Clinton is stopping in Louisville today for a Get Out the Vote event at the Union of Carpenters and Millwrights Training Center. Clinton also has an event planned in Covington. Tomorrow night she'll campaign here in Lexington at Transylvania University, and then she'll head west to Bowling Green. Her opponent, Senator Bernie Sanders, was in Bowling Green last night. He held a rally at the historic rail park and train yard. Sanders called out Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin for cutting funding to health care and education at the event. He also predicted he'd win here in the Bluegrass State.
And very few people would have believed that this coming Tuesday we're going to win a great victory right here in Kentucky.
Today, Sanders will make a stop in Paducah, wrapping up his campaign stops in western Kentucky. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Thank you, Mike. Now, Kentucky is getting attention from presidential candidates ahead of the primary election on Tuesday. Now, this primary is a little bit different. It's a closed primary. That means only voters who are registered as members of a political party may vote for those candidates. So registered Democrats can vote for who they think should get their party's presidential nomination. Republicans voted for their presidential candidate back in March. But there are other races on Tuesday that are not only for Democrats.
You can vote for U.S. Senator, you can vote for U.S. Congress, and in a few precincts in Fayette County, you can actually vote for state representative. The 72nd district seat is being contested in the Republican side.
The polls open at 6 a.m. Tuesday morning. Stay tuned to WKYT for all your Kentucky primary election coverage. A massive sinkhole in central Kentucky has reopened just days after it was filled. The sinkhole opened up Wednesday in the front yard of a home on Fork Church Road in Garrett County. Crews filled the hole Friday afternoon, but the homeowner says it was back open yesterday morning and moving closer to the road. The homeowner says he's never seen anything as dangerous as that sinkhole in the 5 years she's lived there.
I looked over the edge and threw a rock over, and directly it hit the bottom, the plunk, the water. There's water down there. And I mean, it's frightening to look down that long hole.
Now, the concern is with the sinkhole's movement. County officials tell us if the sinkhole moves closer to the road, it will be gone. Bratton talked to officials, and he tells us they've been waiting to see how that sinkhole changes over the day before they make any moves. Part of central Kentucky could be the backdrop for a new film based on the true story of a Kentucky woman turned FBI informant. Now, according to our news partners at the Herald-Leader, the Bourbon County government has been approached about using the courthouse in downtown Paris for a movie. Kentucky officials have approved a tax incentive for a movie titled Above Suspicions. Game of Thrones star Emilia Clarke will appear in the new movie. For more on the new movie, go to our website, WKYT.com, or click on this story on our news app. You can download the app for free. Today, Cool Smiles is offering a free day of dental care for kids. Kids 18 and under without dental insurance can go see a dentist today from 11 to 2 at the Cool Smiles on Winchester Road. If your child needs a dental exam, some emergency care, extractions, or fillings, today is the day to go. For more information, you can visit the website you see on our screen right there. And it's a good service they're offering today. Your time now is 8:38. Coming up on WKYT this morning, one second grader got a big surprise at school from his mother, who's a soldier. Their touching story ahead on WKYT this morning.
Sunday morning is off and running, and it looks great. But as far as the looks go, well, it doesn't necessarily feel like the looks. Coming up, I'll show you how cold it is outside and whether or not that will stick around in the afternoon.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Good morning. Getting started early on with a very pretty looking view of Lexington this morning on our live sky camera, looking toward downtown with nothing but blue skies over Big Blue Nation. If we look at the Defender radar network, this just emphasizes the fact that the cloud cover, well, it's not over Lexington, it's over most of eastern Kentucky, pushing into Virginia and West Virginia. A few hours ago, that was sitting over central Kentucky, and that did help our temperatures from falling off into the mid-30s, although a few spots did. We'll get to that in just a moment. Right now, you can see how those winds are still coming in from the west-northwest as that cool air that has dropped into the Midwest continues to dominate the forecast. This is not normal for this time of year. Temperatures in the mid-40s, that is. Of course, we have seen temperatures slowly improve as our morning has gone on, but it wasn't long ago when we saw most of central or rather southern Kentucky sitting in the mid to high 30s. We had some reports of patchy frost early this morning in Pulaski and Laurel counties, and that could be the case again as we head into Monday. Now, here is a look at how much the temperatures have changed over the past 24 hours. And if you needed a jacket to get your morning started yesterday when we started out in the lower 50s, you will most certainly need one again early this morning. Most spots down into about the 10 to near 20 degree range. In Monticello and Wayne County, a 20-degree drop-off in 24 hours. That is considerable. Now, as we work our way into the middle of our day today, we will continue to get the nice-looking skies. Potentially a few scattered showers over northern Kentucky, nothing that really is going to stick around for very long. But here you can really see that nice mix of sun and clouds hanging around into our afternoon, and it's really going to be a nice-looking Sunday for you. Not necessarily as warm as you'd like it to be. Normal for this time of year being the mid-70s. We won't be anywhere close to that. The upper 50s and low 60s out there today. Overnight, though, if we continue to stay cloud-free, well, that is going to cause for some sleepless nights, I would imagine, for quite a few people out there, especially if you have things planted outside, because look at these temperatures this computer model's throwing at us into tomorrow morning. When you start seeing 33s pop up, that is not what you want. The sweet spot for frost is between 32 and 36 degrees. We'll take a look at the spots that don't have the cloud cover. They all fall within that range, so that's certainly something to keep in mind. You might want to cover those plants up again as we head into tomorrow. It all hinges on the cloud cover. and even into tomorrow afternoon. If it weren't for the cloud cover, we might have been able to warm up a little bit more than we actually will heading into tomorrow. But this cold air that has just sunk into the Midwest will continue to dominate the forecast here over the next 24 to 48 hours. The best chance for us to be looking at some frost again looks like tomorrow morning, but this time, rather than southern Kentucky, it looks more so like central and northern Kentucky. If you're planning on being outside today, make sure to grab that light jacket, especially for the kiddos. If you needed one yesterday afternoon, I know it was breezy. Today won't be as much as yesterday, but if you needed a jacket, you'll more than likely need one. Couldn't hurt to just toss it in the back seat. Heading into the upcoming work week, though, Michelle, a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms gets going late tomorrow. So it's really going to be an odd week.
Well, it's a pretty day, though, at least. It's just chilly.
Yes, but the real theme at the end of the day will be to cover up those plants. Once again, better safe than sorry.
Okay, thanks, Mike. So a second grader at one Texas elementary school got a big surprise Friday afternoon.
You could say a big surprise. Abby Knight was there for a special reunion after months of military service.
Second grade students quietly waited for guest speakers Friday, a firefighter, police officer, and soldier. Texas Redwine was set to give a card from his class to the soldier, and he hoped it would go to his favorite, his mom.
Miss Griffith said it probably would not be.
Texas stood to give his card and recognized a familiar face. After 9 months apart, son and mom were reunited.
Really surprised.
The first thing he said face to face with Captain Jamessa Redwine was actually just one word.
I said, Mommy.
Mom says she missed birthdays and holidays while she was in Kuwait with the 4th Sustainment Command.
I started crying because it felt so good. I'm crying, not tears of sadness, but tears of happiness, because it's the best thing, and being away from him is not so great.
So today was Superhero Day at Spring Creek Elementary School. Students of all ages got to dress up as their favorite superheroes. Texas, who are you?
Captain America.
Why?
Because he's in the army.
Costumes aside, Captain Redwine's favorite part of the day came straight from the heart.
Hugging him and kissing him and holding on to him.
Texas smiled brightly as he showed his mom a special project he made for her. It even included a coupon for Happy Mother's Day because they didn't spend it together.
I miss everything.
Now they're just picking up where they left off.
I miss talking to him. I miss playing with him. I just miss him so much. He's like my best friend, so.
And that would be so hard to be away from your kids for so long.
Let alone to be halfway across the world.
Right. What a great story. Your time now is 8:46. We'll have more news when we come back.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. I'm Bill Bryant, hoping you're enjoying your weekend. We're now just 2 days away from Kentucky's primary, and the attention being paid to the Commonwealth by the Democratic presidential candidates is intense. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are both back in Kentucky this weekend looking for votes. UK political behavior expert Dr. Stephen Voss says it's more about the momentum than it is the delegates that are up for grabs from Kentucky.
Hillary Clinton needs to stop the momentum Sanders has. This looks like a good state where to stage her defense for lots of reasons we could talk about. On the other hand, we have very little data about where this state's going to go, so Sanders certainly could see it as an opportunity to pull an upset.
He won West Virginia last week. In 2008, Hillary Clinton carried every county. In 2016, Sanders carried every county, and Hillary Clinton lost. How is Kentucky different? How is it the same as West Virginia?
Okay, one big difference that we have from West Virginia is that this is a closed primary. You talked about in the earlier segment, it's a closed primary. Independents cannot vote in the Democratic primary. Republicans cannot vote in the Democratic primary. And that means it's only among people who are registered Democrats. They have been supporting Hillary Clinton much more than independents who have sort of raided the Democratic primary to help Sanders win in other states. So that's a good advantage for Clinton. We also have a lot of registered Democrats who are fairly conservative politically. We haven't done what a lot of the Deep South did, which is all the social conservatives becoming Republicans. And so some of these Democrats are not natural Sanders supporters. They would normally be much more likely to support, someone with her roots in Arkansas than someone with roots in Vermont and a liberal Democrat. Now, what kind of upsets that apple cart is in West Virginia, people who were conservative, who you would not at all have expected to vote for Bernie Sanders ideologically, gave him support. These Trump supporters who were able to raid the Democratic primary in West Virginia supported Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton. If she's not picking up the more conservative Democrats the way she normally would, then all bets are off in terms of this state being an advantage for her.
Bill Clinton carried Kentucky twice in 1992 and 1996, but that was a generation ago at this point, and Bernie Sanders seems to have that hold with young voters, certainly. In fact, one of his visits will be in Bowling Green, the home of Western Kentucky University. The coal issue is huge as well. How do those factors play?
Well, the coal thing's kind of a puzzle because I can't believe anybody in coal country would think Bernie Sanders was going to adopt policies more supportive of than Clinton would of the coal industry. But Hillary Clinton did make some statements that suggested hostility to coal, and you know how sometimes it's what you say that matters more than what you'll do. And they've gotten a lot of play out of the coal statements. The students are a puzzle as well. They're overwhelmingly for Sanders, but college is out now. And they don't have that sort of echo effect of the students, drumming up mobilization. And one thing we know about when people vote, it's when the community around them is sort of pushing them to the polls. They're not in that Sanders-dominated community anymore.
Now, also on Kentucky Newsmakers, you'll hear from Fayette County Clerk Don Blevins about preparations for Tuesday's primary. We'll repeat the program in its entirety this morning at 10 over on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. And we'll have all the latest for you early this week on WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. Your time is 8:55 on this beautiful Sunday. Coming up on CBS Sunday Morning, you'll see a young man's medical miracle. Then catch up with news anchor Rachel Maddow and chat with some very intelligent parrots. That's all coming up on Sunday morning right here on WKYT from 9 to 10:30. So this story is utterly wild. You'll think so too if you had to catch a cow.
Yes. Okay, here come the puns,
You
everybody.
love this.
So the cow was on the move in southern China. It was steering in the wrong direction between moving cars. But the officers finally caught up to the calf at a toll station. The cow was finally lassoed and taken back to its owners. An officer said that the cow was very scared and was a safety threat to other drivers. So you could say that they weren't trying to milk the situation.
Oh,
they just wanted
that was a good one.
There you go. They just wanted to make sure that the cow was safe and everybody was safe in the end.
I like that. We were trying to think of the word, how to use milk in that. You did a good job.
Well, I mean, of course, the officers didn't want the cow to have beef with everybody.
Oh, goodness. What am I going to do with this guy?
I tried.
It was good.
All right, so as far as your weather goes, if you're going to be outside today, grab that jacket just in case. Couldn't hurt to just toss it in the back seat if you need it. If you needed a jacket yesterday, you'll more than likely need it again today. Very similar temperatures, but not as gusty and better looking. More sunshine for you. Overnight tonight is the big area of concern because if we see a lack of cloud cover this afternoon and that stays with us through the evening, that could mean another chance for patchy frost tomorrow before things get stormy into tomorrow evening. So pretty wacky next few days.
Yeah, and this rain needs to move on out. I had to do it. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone.